our Tyvarian Dealers Conference. Our aim with this is to educate you, inform you on new things, get you excited, and just kind of get everyone, together in one spot to get a download on information. I'm going to turn the time over to Kirk real quick. He's going to give us a few updates on the State of the Union, as we've been calling it, and he's going to introduce what our conference gift is. So every time we do a conference, we want to reward the people who get on Zoom and, entertain us by giving us your time. So Kirk, take it away. And it looks like Kirk, right when I was passing it to him, dropped off the face of the earth. So I don't know if his computer died.
You talk, I'll go look.
Or if he just said what he wanted to say before and he's done. There he is. I see him wandering through the hallways aimlessly. You're back on. I can see your video screen now. So try it now. You there, Kurt?
Well, let's talk a second about tariffs and what we're thinking this year is going to look like with all this change. I don't think we've ever seen such a huge shift in the direction of the U.S. I don't think we've ever seen our government have this large of an impact on our whole economy in such a short period of time. So we're seeing short-term, possibly a few bumps, but overall, made in America, being an American manufacturer, doing work with your own hands, installing products. This administration supports American workers very well, and I think the outlook's great. And some of the people that we're in the same space with in the bath industry, I don't think things are going to be as smooth as it is going to be for Tyvarian. For example, the tile industry, about half their products domestic, half of it's imported. So right now they've got products that are going to be dropped, that they'll no longer source from wherever they're getting it. Other products they may keep, but there'll be price increases. And so it's got to be pretty chaotic at any of the tile wholesalers, and overall tile's just going to have to go up in price, and there's going to be a lot of uncertainty for people that plan down the road. The acrylic people in our space, BCI and Rebath, acrylic is taking a major hit in this tariff environment, and they're going to have significant price increases. So the good news today is Tyvarian, we're saying no price increases. We believe we'll have stable prices for the rest of this year in our wall panels, our floors, those of you that manufacture, our flow coat, our print media. We're seeing all those things stable. The only thing we have some concern about is fiberglass. Fiberglass is almost exclusively sourced from China, and the US is trying to do less importing from China, and fiberglass is going to become very expensive, at least in the short run, and there's allocations already. We currently have stock, and so we haven't changed our pricing on molds, and if you've thought about getting a gel coat fiberglass mold, I'd get it sooner than later because I think there's going to be some increases there. So we see being in a relatively stable environment price-wise, and this should be all good news for all of us in the Tyvarian family. So we're excited to be, I guess, a survivor and a benefactor of some of the changes in our nation. So let's talk about, we always like to thank you guys for attending conference. And one of the things we've learned over the years is when you have great samples, you have great sales. So we want to support you in this area by giving you a free set of samples, and we've got 3 options for you to choose from. And we'll prepare these samples and get them out to you. The first option is a set of 12 boards that show our top 100 colors on 12 boards. These are absolutely gorgeous. With these handles, they're great to grab and take to a customer, to go to a show, and they're wonderful to have in the showroom. Mounted on the boards, these samples stay in good condition too. It's a nice thing to have a sample mounted. Our
I've got
second
one
option.
here of what we would actually be sending. So
Oh,
this is
yeah,
just one of those. They're really nice. They're not too heavy, and it's a pretty decent size of what the actual color swatch
yeah,
is.
it's not a huge sample, but I think it's big enough to do the job. And then when you use it with the color library gives you the scale of the whole panel. So it's a wonderful option. That's option 1. Option number 2, we've always had a portable sample set of samples. These are 11 8x8s, and again, you have 100 colors. And so this ties in with our color library book. And for those of you that need to be portable and mobile like this is a great option for you to select. Our final one, option number 3, is designed for your showroom. And this is a set of 5 30 by 65 wall panels. We have these in our showroom. I think it's one of our favorite tools in our showroom. People like seeing what's available. And in addition to seeing a scale size sample of the 100 colors we're offering, they also have a full panel sample right next to that as well, so they can see how veining and everything works out.
They're just not going in.
So please, at the end of conference, we'll show you how to pick yours and get that selected, and we'll get these out to you. The only note, if you're a manufacturing dealer, option number 1 or 2, select it. We'll get it to you, ship it to you, everything, and it's on us. Option number 3 will, for a manufacturing dealer, provide those for you in film, and you can manufacture them. If you're a resale dealer, we would take these panels and include them in the shipping with one of your orders.
Yeah, and if you're a manufacturing dealer, let us know anytime and we can also get you that film. It's not a conference special. We can help you out with that any time of the year.
Well, thanks, Kirk. I think these are some exciting updates with samples, at least option 1, something new that we've been working on, and I really thought it was an effective sales tool. I want to announce that 96-inch panels are now available for resale dealers. We've kind of been working on how to ship these. We've figured out how to ship them. There's a caveat: you must have a loading dock or forklift with extensions to receive it at your location. I was just on the phone yesterday with our freight provider, and a dock pickup is available as well. So if you don't have the resources to pick up or receive a 96-inch crate, you can go to the dock that's local. That could be 45 minutes away from you. It could be an hour, could be 10 minutes. It just depends on where that hub is. But you can pick up directly from their local hub. They've got the equipment to load it onto a trailer, load it onto a truck. Another thing is our minimum for free shipping is $5,000. So if you're going to order 96-inch panels, your total shipment that will ship to you, we want that to total over $5,000 to qualify for our free shipping. So just keep that in mind. Another thing that we announced at our last conference was our new Volume 4 color library books. These have landed. Some of you have received these by now. If you have not, get onto TyvarianOrders.com or reach out to Allison. We'd be happy to send you one of our color library books. The new update with the color library books, traditionally it's always just been you open it up and we have all 100 colors listed there. You can talk through it. It's a great sales tool. We've added a new color tab, which shows you the new colors for the year and our top selling colors. This is a great way to just hand that off to a customer. They got 20 colors right off the bat. It's not overwhelming. And then once they've kind of perused the top selling and the new colors, they can jump into the whole complete collection. So make sure you have one of those if you haven't got one already. Another big thing that we've worked on is I'm all computer. I like to look at everything on the computer. I know some of you are old school and like to have something physical in hand. And so we have a printed product catalog. This is available digitally on our website, but if you want a hard copy, those will be available here soon. What this product catalog entails is it is our complete catalog of everything we sell from manufacturing dealers to the resale dealers. So both worlds are combined into the one product catalog. And we've gone ahead and, as you can see up here in the corner, they've got tabs. So if it's a resale specific product, it's got a tab that shows you that. But this goes through and shows you some of the options, some diagrams, kind of just a lot of information packed into this neat little book. Shows pricing. And then one thing that we've added is over the years, through the different volumes of the color library book, we've added colors, we've taken them away. Every year we want to have the color library book at 100 colors. That just keeps it convenient, more for the customer. Some of you remember some of the old colors. Maybe you have an old volume that you're still circulating. Those colors are never discontinued. They're put into what I call the vault. They can be recalled at any time. And so in the product catalog, there's a swatch of every color we've ever produced. And so if you remember, Adobe or some of these ugly ones, they are ugly. That's why we've moved on, but they might be selling in your market or you might have an attachment to them. Anyway, so you can find those there. Those are also on the site now. You can see our color vault and see all of the fun colors that we've had over the years. And hey, one of these days, some of those dark browns, they're going to be, coming back. It's always cyclical. We'll see the bright whites go away. So anyway, that's kind of an update there. And I'm going to stop talking about color because I know nothing about color, and I'm going to hand that over to Shauna.
Yeah, I was a little offended by the ones you called ugly. Those are my babies, but
I
they all
like
have
Ammonite. I
they
still
all
like
have a
Ammonite.
spot. Yeah, that one was ugly.
This call is being recorded.
So
This
yeah,
call is no longer being recorded.
We've had a great beginning to the year. We've sold over 90,000 square feet of Tyvarian between our manufacturing dealers and our resale dealers, and that's not even including locally here at Whitewater. So Tyvarian is selling great, and as you can see here, we've got I think that's our top 20 shown in a little pie chart, and of our 6 top selling colors, that equals about 30% of all of our sales. So as you can see here on this next slide, we've got all of our top 6 colors shown. And as you can tell, they're all whites. So these colors sell, they always will sell. As far as, I think they'll always be up in that top 10. It may drop out if we add new whites or something, but if you don't have these in your showroom, make sure you get a 12 by 12 sample or larger. If you're a resale dealer, the 8 by 8s are free. Order some of those. Make sure all your salesmen have them. As you can tell, 5 of those 6 colors have a brown or a warm gray vein running through it. So that kind of shows how the market's trending, that browns, earth tones are definitely more popular right now, but they maybe don't necessarily want it in their walls. They want it to match their floors and their tile or wood that they have in there. So that's what I would recommend, is getting samples of all of these available to show your customers.
All right. I just have to say this, Manchester blew me away. Calcutta Brown has had the top position locked down for a long time, and it's still a very popular color. But where in the world did Manchester come from? is that just this year? Was it trending up last year? What's the scoop on that one, Shauna?
I mean, as of 2024, I think our number one selling color was Aria. So as of January 1st to now, Manchester is number one. So
Wow.
by the end of the year, who knows? It could change, but they are all very popular colors. Those tones are selling. And I think Manchester's a little more subtle than, say, Calcutta Brown, where it's got a lot of veins running through it. Manchester's definitely more a little muted.
Fantastic information. Thank you, Shauna.
All right, so we just want to talk a little bit about, making a statement in your showroom, or if you don't have a showroom, what you have in your salesman's hands, getting those samples. And so we just want to highlight a little water jet colors. So water jet colors, Chase goes to the next slide, perfect. Make a great addition to any shower. You can throw this in a shower floor and it looks amazing. A vertical or a horizontal deco panel, use it for a niche, anything. I mean, I've also seen full showers done in these and it looks great, but these are just a little way that you can make a statement. And so as you can see, these 3 water jet patterns are top selling. And if you look, we've got that Milano, Calcutta Brown, and Manchester. So those 3 colors, while they're, still whites, they sell, and they can add a little pop of color pattern to kind of help take that shower up to the next level. And then we just want to talk a little bit about designer colors. And while these may not be top selling colors, they are a great way to catch your customers' eyes. We had Amazon on display in our showroom up in Salt Lake for years, and it was stunning. Every time I went in, I talked about how much I loved that display. Did we sell a lot of Amazon? No, but it was a good eye catcher. It shows what we're capable of. I have seen Jacqueline installed in a shower, and it's impressive. It looks, so much cooler than, just a boring white shower. So I would recommend getting a few of these water or these designer colors into your showroom as well, just to show what we're capable of. They may just end up going with a white, but it shows what we can do. All right.
Absolutely. Okay, well, thanks for the fun stuff. I'm going to talk a little bit about the boring stuff, Shauna. We got some updates to our terms and conditions. This can all be found on Tyvarian.com, but I just wanted to go over 3 main points. The first point is any orders that are over $10,000 or more, we're going to have a large order deposit. So that's 50% non-refundable deposit before we start production. That just makes sure things go smoothly through production. The remaining 50% balance will be paid just like normal when we ship. So just keep that in mind. If you have a big order coming through to not hinder production, let's get together and get that deposit. We want to go over, and this is mainly for resale dealers, but if you have materials that are damaged, we want to get those reproduced as soon as possible. So we've got some new guidelines for reruns. Over the past, we've kind of had just a whatever system where you call, you text, you email, maybe you send a smoke signal that your material is damaged. Well, some of that gets lost in communication, and so we wanted to create a solid way to communicate all of that information. So if material is damaged in transit, we need you to note that and get pictures. If you cannot inspect in time, sometimes the driver wants to get out of there in a hurry. On the paperwork, you need to write requires further inspection. So that's just kind of something that we need, some protocol that helps us fight with the freight companies to get repaid on that. Damage shipments are a high priority, and we really want to make those rushed. In that same line, and in kind of a different note, if you break or miscut material, we're going to treat that as a rerun as far as we're going to rush that without any rush fees. And so if you want to keep that project moving, make sure you follow these steps on getting your reruns ordered. So I'm going to go ahead and go to tyvarianorders.com and just show you what I'm talking about here. So if you go to tyvarianorders.com, and if I have material that was damaged in transit, obviously Tyvarian's going to take care of that 100%. So what you'll do if it's broken in transit, you'll go straight to the forms. You'll hit the rerun form. You're going to fill out all of your information. And then the original Shopify order number of the damaged material, you'll place that there. And then the details. Let us know what happened, but also let us know what needs to be replaced. So oftentimes it's 160 by 84 that got damaged, or 136 by 84. It's not the total shipment. So let us know exactly what needs to be replaced in that comment section. Put any pictures, and then hit submit. That'll get that going. We'll try to turn that around in a week. So that's what we need to do if you break, or if something breaks in transit. If your installers break or miscut something, what we want you to do is go back to tyvarianorders.com. We want you to go through and replace whatever material you need. So you'll place it like a standard order. Then you'll come to the forms again, and you'll hit the rerun form. You'll fill out your information, and then that new order number that you just got for the material you're reordering, you'll hit that there, give us some information, hit submit. Then that puts you into the rush queue. We'll get that out as soon as possible. And then there's one other kind of new thing that we're doing, and that's rush orders. So a lot of the times we get rush order requests. It gets chaotic because everyone's wanting a rush here, there. We've made it clean that if you need a rush, you're going to go and place an order on tyvarianorders.com. Once you place that order, you're going to come to the rush order form. You're going to fill out your information and reference the Shopify order number, hit submit. The kind of stipulations with this is rush orders are subject to a 20% of the total discounted price. So we're implementing a fee now for any material that needs to be rushed. Max rush order cannot exceed $7,000. So just keep that in mind. We don't want to rush giant, huge orders. And so hopefully we don't run into any problems with that. So anyway, couple new things with our terms. And you can find that all on tyvarian.com. And hopefully this will help get things out faster. So we're going to have less confusion, less dropped, orders. Once it's in the system, it's going to get taken care of. So that is my updates. We wanted to kind of give you some installation tips every time I learn something from our conference. We created this video a long time ago. I'm not sure how many people have seen it. It's a tip on how to use our UV resins for chips. And I'm going to go ahead and just show that real quick. This can be found on YouTube. So if you have not seen this before, that means your installers have probably definitely not seen this before. So you can find this on youtube.com if you go to Tyvarian International, and this is how to repair a chip.
You've got a chip in your Tyvarian panel. What do you do? To our dealers, we offer a UV resin patch kit, which comes with 1 bottle of UV resin and 1 UV flashlight. Other things you're going to need: some masking tape, something like a popsicle stick, and you're going to need 240 grit sandpaper. One of the most important things is that we retain this chip whenever we get a chip in the panel. I've gone ahead and taped off our panel, and now I'm going to take my tube of UV resin and I'm going to liberally start putting it down where our chip occurred. With the resin down, I'm going to take my little chip and I'm going to put it right back into that spot, push it down. I'll take my popsicle stick and I'm going to just apply some pressure try to get that situated in its spot, squish out any excess resin and air, and we will be good to start curing. After our flake situated, we'll take our UV flashlight and we're going to apply light for about 2 to 3 minutes. We're going to make sure that we get a good even cure all the way through our chip. Once the resin is fully cured, we'll remove the masking tape and we'll be ready to sand. Using an orbital sander with 240 grit sandpaper, we're able to knock down that excess resin and we're left with a smooth, uniform surface. Get that cleaned up and you got a smooth, flawless panel. Can't even tell that there was a chip.
Stace, you need to unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you, Shauna. I forgot I muted myself. So there's our tip on UV resin. One thing is what happens if you lose that chip. And I don't know if anyone's seen this before. Our guys will take colored pencils, as simple as it sounds, and they will just try to mimic as best they can what that pattern looked like. I always tell people the best way to do it is to be as creative and artistic as you can, adding in a little vein or looking at the pattern, seeing what would look natural. And then you could refill that with the UV resin. And it's not going to be perfect. It's not as good as the exact chip, but it's something that, you know, could be passable. So keep that in mind. And let's see here. I'm trying to get to the next slide if I can. Okay, we're going to talk about how to boost your sales. One thing that you probably should never do is ask Shauna for graphics. Kirk said, Shauna, I want a graphic of sales going up, and she came up with this AI generated picture. So if you want to get that to your, email, save that. If you want that picture, talk to Shauna. She can get you a copy of that.
I think we were gonna make a poster of that and put it up in our office. So
Yeah, we need to do that.
So we just have one quick idea for the day. Some of you may have heard this before. I've talked about this company before. Construction Monitor is a great company and they collect data on new construction. They go around to individual municipalities and they grab all the information that's available on the public record on new construction. So you can see residential new construction in your area and all the commercial. It's not a helpful tool, unfortunately, in the remodel space, but for new construction, it's fantastic. Let me show you a couple things that it does. First of all, it can give you a report on the top builders. So this is the state of Utah, and by number of units or by dollars or number of permits taken out, it can tell me who the top people are. And so if you're interested in new construction or you're interested in commercial, you can quickly find out who the players are, their volume. You can kind of see the price range they're working in and who might be a good person to go contact. Let me show you some of the, well, here's a report they publish every week where they give you the top residential builders, the top commercial builders, and the top multi-unit builders. So if any of those categories interest you or you see an opportunity there, they're showing you who these people are. And let me show you real quick the data they give you. They give you some very good data. This is a weekly report. They give you the name of the owner, the builder. They give you addresses. They give you phone numbers. They give you, once in a while, we see some emails as well. With this data, we've in the past marketed to these people. I mean, you can get on the phone and call these people. You know, they're building a house and it's a pretty easy thing to ask them if they'd like a quote. In the old days, since I'm old, you would go out to somebody's house and you'd take your business card or a brochure and you'd nail it to one of the 2x4s during the framing stage. Addresses, you know where these people are, and you can drop by if that's a sales style that you still use. We've taken this data with addresses and mailed literature, brochures, and postcards asking people
That one? Yeah.
like a quote. This is something that's a monthly fee. We use it to monitor the market, to see our market share, and also to help us know who to go after in new construction when we want to grow our sales. And as part of the conference, anybody who would like a free sample, I can get probably a report of the top builders, and I can probably get a week or two of data on some of the building permits in your area. The other thing is this data can be exported, so you can put it into a sales tool if you're using one, and follow up and do your sales thing with this data. I think that's about it on Construction Monitor. Email me personally if you would like, and I'll get you a free sample of what this service does. For some of you to just find out who the top builders are in your market and never go any further, I mean, you don't need to use the service. Just have me once a year get a free sample for you so you can see who the top builders are and who you want to talk to. Thanks.
Thanks, Kirk. We've got some developments coming for 2026. We always try to be good at listening. Here in Utah, they've got these obnoxious billboards from Ken Garff about listening, you know, and everything's about, we hear you at a concert, we hear you this, we hear you that. We try to hear you. One of the things that I've gotten some feedback on in the last year is that our ordering platforms for both manufacturing and for the resale dealers are not quite adequate. We fall short, especially on tracking orders and referencing our order number to your jobs. And so I'm going to turn the time to Shauna to kind of give us a little sneak peek of what she's been working on.
Yeah, so we've just been working on a new ordering system. So it's, you know, going to be user friendly. You're going to be able to track your orders, and you're going to be able to see your past and current orders. And this will be a platform for both our manufacturing dealers and our resale dealers. And we're looking at hopefully releasing this sometime at the beginning of next year. So probably within the next year, we should have that. But don't hold me accountable to that. But we will do our best, and we're going to try to make
What kind
this.
of commitment is that, Shauna? We're going to hold your feet to the fire.
I've learned to never commit fully, or else, you know, you can get in trouble. But no, we want to make this a great system, and then we're going to have training and all that kind of stuff to make it as easy of a switch over for you as possible. So, all right.
So in the meantime, if you have any suggestions with that, you can find Shauna an email on our website, give her an email, drop her a line, let her know what you think you would want to see out of that system. And if there's any other things, comments, nasty comments, nice comments, you can send them to Shauna. Any feedback, positive, bad, just send it to Shauna.
Feedback sent to Chase at Tyvarian.com.
We're trying to be like Ken Garff and listening, but really we don't want to hear it, and we'll just have Shauna deal with it. Thank you for joining our conference. We hope you learned something new. One of the greatest things you could be doing with your installers is letting them know all of our videos for installation, tips, tricks, how to do it. It's all on YouTube. It should be very easy for them to navigate and find that. Make sure you're sharing that with your team. If there's any information like how to boost your sales that someone in your organization could benefit from, you can reference them back to conference. So we'll today put this live back onto, not live, but we'll put this back onto YouTube. And so if you need to reference anything from our conference today, make sure that you're sharing that with anyone in your organization. Your gift, our free conference gift, were the 3 options for free samples. Make sure to claim that by May 16th. We're giving you a good window there to get onto TyvarianOrders.com. If you haven't created an account before, it's pretty easy. Just go to the upper right-hand corner, click on the person icon, and create a new account. And once again, those are free to you. So make sure you get that done. And once again, we just want to thank you for joining us today, and we will see you soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Yes, thank you.